Yo, it's your world's favorite Eskimo here, Real Ralph Anthony, speaking to you from the cold Bucharest. See, I've got a friend of mine who is so obsessed with getting laid that he centers his life around getting laid. In fact, all he ever does is message me, not to ask how I am or how business is going or what's happening in the stock market or what kind of money we're making or what kind of personal development we're working on or what kind of diet I'm working on or what's the new nutrition hack. He just messaged me to be like, hey, I got laid again. This is number 42 this year. And I've also seen the chicks he gets laid with, and they're really not hot, actually. Most of them are supremely average looking. But that's besides the point. Well, actually, to me, that's one of the major points, because if you're getting laid with hot girls all the time, then that's pretty fun. But the thing is, if you center your life around getting laid, bro, like, come on, your CV just becomes nothing, actually, just becomes empty. Because that women don't see your past roster, right? They don't see that you've been laid 1,000 times, right? So it's not really that cool for them. I actually saw Tristan Tate recently speak on an Instagram reel, and he said, I've been laid with 1,000 girls. I'm like, what? You're just revealing that information to make yourself sound cool. I mean, I could say the same thing. I could say I've been laid with over 250 girls. Ooh, look at me, I'm the man. But that doesn't make me feel good anymore. That doesn't make me feel special or important. Okay, it gives me some credibility to be able to teach people how to get laid because I have the track record, if that's what we want to start calling it. But if you center your whole life around getting laid, then you're going to be a loser, in my opinion. Because what matters is what you've done in your life, not how many women you've been laid with. That's not how you get judged. That's not the be-all and end-all, right? Life is more important than that. It's more important what you get done, what you achieve, what you accomplish. Have you started an interesting business? Have you made an impact on the world? Have you lived and loved and had a beautiful experience? There are people that make comments on my channel saying happily married, been with my woman for 15 years, I've got 3 kids, it's the best thing ever. That's a very beautiful thing, by the way. I'm jealous that you have children and are happy in your family. Because guess what? The rest of us are struggling to make that shit work. I read an article this morning about Generation X, I believe it is, or Generation Z, or is it Generation X, basically the youngest generation, are completely pulling out of the idea of marriage because it seems completely alien. And I agree to that. I mean, I think marriage is completely outdated. But, that's besides the point. If you are constantly focused on getting laid and racking up your numbers, and if you're a virgin, then you probably are focused on getting laid. And I have people like this in a men's group that I'm actually in. One of the guys is so unbelievably focused on getting laid that his life is revolved around it, that if he doesn't get laid, everything else is just shit. And he makes good money. He makes about 5,000 euros a month isn't great these days given inflation. But he makes 5,000 euros a month and he makes it remotely, which means he can work from anywhere in the world. But he's telling me that he's like going into monk mode and he's not happy and he's like trying to get laid, and the girls he does get laid with are like super ugly and that doesn't give him enough validation. And I'm like, stop focusing on getting laid. Focus on being the best possible man you could be. So for example, I feel much more at peace after jumping off the dating apps over the last month or two. I think it was about 6 weeks ago I jumped off dating apps. I was having a hernia operation in London and I had a recovery period and I wasn't going to be able to have sex anyway, right? So it was like, oh, it's a nice little period for me to stand off this. And that has been so unbelievably refreshing because that's brought me closer to my YouTube channel and making videos and also DJing. Like I am putting together playlists every day and almost putting together, posting on YouTube once or twice a week on a separate channel, of course. And I'm much more into my music now and I'm developing my musical taste and I'm DJing much better because I'm putting my energy, which is usually sexual energy, into trying to get laid, into something more impactful, which is my creative hobby, right? So I'm putting that energy, rather than sitting there swiping on Tinder and trying to get laid all the time, I'm now putting that energy into my creativity and into my music. And that's actually building something, because if I'm then going to become a epic DJ, then I'm much more likely to get laid with hotter girls and attract a lot more women, right? So do you see what I mean by not focusing on getting laid? and focusing on greatness and excellence as a man, you're much more likely to get laid, actually, because you're just a greater man. Now, even if you've only slept with like 2 women and you're a 30-year-old, but all of a sudden you've made it in business, or you're a big DJ, or I don't know, you're a singer and you're not a big singer, but you've sang at an event and there's a bunch of hot girls there and like a few of them take a liking to you because they're attracted to you and they like your singing, and you land one of them as a girlfriend. You're a winner in my eyes. You've won. You got a beautiful girlfriend. You've been late twice, compared to my friend who centers his life around sleeping with women, who slept with about 1,000 girls. Most of them are average as hell, to be honest. He's just literally doing it to rack up the numbers. And really, when you ask him what he's done the last 5 years, the answer is not much, actually. So when a woman is selecting him as a partner, she'll look and be like, well, this guy hasn't really done much in the last few years. He's not really got anything going for him. She'd rather be with that singer who's only slept with 2 girls, because do you know what? She doesn't know how many girls you've actually slept with. There's no sign on your head which says 1,000 or 2 or 50, right? So bearing that in mind, don't heavily focus on getting laid, because it doesn't actually do anything for you. It doesn't build your CV, right? All it does is just build a hypothetical tally in your mind that, oh, you've got laid with more girls. I understand that gives you more confidence moving forward, but that shouldn't give you confidence. What should give you confidence is being an excellent man and improving different aspects of your life. That's what should give you confidence. So don't center your whole life around getting laid, because in the end, even if you've been laid with a bunch of different girls, you really have nothing to show for it. If you ask me if I'd exchange the 250 girls, 250 plus girls that I've slept with, if I exchange that for 50 girls and a high-flying musical DJ career, I'd probably pick the high-flying musical DJ career, because then I'm much more likely to sleep with much higher quality women and have a lot more attraction. Many more girls will be attracted to me because the women are attracted to social status. Women love singers, women love performers and entertainers. And so I'd probably have a much larger roster and a roster that's full of better quality women, right? So I would actually take that that trade-off in my current situation, because there's nothing that fascinating about me saying I've slept with hundreds of women. So what, bro? Really not that cool.